This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire, stop all that. The Truefire All Access membership, they've brought the price down for March Madness, they're calling it, so the cheapest you can get it any time of year. Now, there aren't a ton of things that I would definitely say you should do this with basically any lick, and I'd be sure that it would be something that is kind of enlightening, but this is one of these things. I've seen Alan Hines talk about this is the one thing that he shows all his students. It's just one of those things where it's like, well, obviously that is a very musical thing to be doing and a very enlightening thing to be doing, and I'll just show you in real time here because I was just experimenting with this one specific idea, and I wanted to show you how I go about specifically trying to get something that is like this all over the neck or all through the scale. And we're talking here really about moving things diatonically through a scale. And what are the benefits of this? The tab for this will go on Patreon, but as I'm saying this to you, I think the real benefit here is going to be in you trying to do this sort of thing for yourself. So I was just playing around with this idea. So I'm thinking about this right now in E flat. We'll move it into G in a second. So that's your normal, like A flat power chord, and then jump up to the 9 on the 3rd fret with a hybrid. So you get 4, 6, 5, 9. So on the 3rd fret, and then jump down to the 7th degree on the 5th fret on the D string, back up to the root, and then up to the 5th on the 4th fret, 5th fret, 3rd, and then we finish on a 9. So the pattern is as such. So I'm going to move it into G so that this is slightly easier for you to maybe visualize and stuff. So what can we do from here? Now the idea is that we want to move every note up or somewhere else in the fretboard, and so that instead of this just being an idea that I can only do this with, what else can we do with it? Now I tend to know that in general an idea that works on like the root note, because I'm not playing anything outside of the scale, but I'm also not playing the 4th degree here, that this is probably going to work if I start this exact same thing but over on the 4th degree of the scale. So in G, that's C. So we get same idea. So that actually works, right? So we've got it now in 2 places. Now we could also do another major version of it, but if we look, so on my 5th degree, I can see we got a here. That's like a major 7, right? On our 5th degree of the major scale, it should be, if we just look, a flat 7, right? Yeah, so now we've got 3 ideas. So what I'm looking at here, for me, is like, what is the 4th degree of the scale, what is the 5th degree of the scale, and trying to sort of calculate what would I have to change to make that work. Now, obviously, that's 3 positions. So what we could also do is this other approach, which is how I would probably get to the minor version. What we're going to do is move 1 note up at a time. So we get then that, right? So that bottom part is easy. Okay. Would it be that? Yeah, that's a cool sound, right? So now I'm just imagining each section moved up by 1 note. Okay, now we've got our minor version. On the B, I can't do exactly the same thing because my note wants to go up, so it's going to be a... get that sound instead. So there will always be 1 or 2 kind of positions that don't... that jump down to the C. So, that one doesn't sound as good as either the other 2. So we got move up, everything 1 note. Move everything up 1 note. Move everything up 1 note again. Move up a note again. And then we've got a minor one here, which is actually going to be the same as on number 2. So this is another thing. So on your 1st degree and on your 4th degree, things will generally tend to be the same. And then on your 2nd degree and on your 6th degree, things generally seem to be the same. Okay, so that's a really nice one. Okay, and then over here we get everything moved up one note. E goes to F sharp, B goes to C, E goes to F sharp. So we should get, for our last one, the last note should be that. So we've now done every note. And we've got an interesting sort of little sequence that we could probably turn into a piece of music just by moving them around and sort of. I'm going to go from 1 to 6 to 4. 1. 6. 4. 2, 4, just one little sort of musical idea that naturally sort of spawns into a bigger idea in one practice session. This is the sort of thing that I think is really enlightening and can totally help you to really visualize the fretboard better and, you know, really test whether you can do this sort of thing. It's the sort of thing that I wish I'd been doing from a much younger age, because it is that real thing of just sort of like making music on the fly and really testing out these things which are at first not that easy. So this is about literally being able to see how a shape would move through the major scale up the neck. It's totally invaluable. You could do it with other scales as well. If I tried to do this with like the melodic minor scale, this would take me ages, but I think it would be worthwhile if that was something that I wanted to get better at. As I say, the tabs for this will be up on Patreon. You do it in other keys as well, but this kind of practice, I think, is the sort of thing that really does start to make you see the fretboard in a different way. It kind of necessarily forces you to, and sort of these bigger clumps of notes, these bigger clusters, these bigger sequences, trying to see how they would move up through the shapes. I think it's totally tricky but useful practice. I hope that's okay to share with you. I hope you've had a good March. See you in April. Cheers for stopping by.